All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the D Team campaign. This is session number 12, and if you remember, the session number is also the level of our player characters here. So we are more than halfway through the campaign. It's either gonna end off somewhere after level 15 or at level 20, depends on how the story goes. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. And speaking of the story, it's Sonic Link's turn for the recap.
Before he does that, can I correct you and say it's actually session 13
Oh
because we
yeah,
had that two-parter.
we did have that two-parter technically, but I
Yeah.
was just like 5 part 1, 5 part 2.
Okay.
But yes,
Fair enough.
technically 13th time we've met together.
Okay, recap though.
Yeah.
Speaking of things we chatted about earlier, there is currently a dog barking outside my window, so I might be slightly distracted.
Hmm.
Anyways, last time Iris did not do much. She got a high class part on the ship, she did a couple of performances, and she signed some autographs, and that was basically what she did. She was sort of not there for the plot. As for everyone else, we went on to the boat of the ideal cult, and Newbie and Hope were given a less than fantabulous room that was very low class. Hope got into constant fights with the Zekrom guys and their ideal talk, trying to talk about truth and stuff like that while they talked over him. After the first concert, they followed a guy who was being suspicious with Iris's autograph and found him underneath the ship holding a bunch of copied autographs from Team Charm and holding a bunch of contraband. After they secured him, and Newbie kept him trapped down there, Hope went up to the captain, and the captain was like, "Oh yeah, that's always we are well aware of that. That's how it's always been, and it was something he wasn't exactly happy with." And he went down to try and convince the guy to not do that anymore, but basically only managed to convince the guy to sell his counterfeits with the label of counterfeits. Meanwhile, Iris went down there with him and managed to sneak off with her autograph so he can't copy paste it. And that was pretty much what happened.
There you go. Roll the d6.
4, yay.
Four. I'm like,
Alright.
I don't know why I'm giving you the the luck points. You don't need the.
I could give them to other people.
He's like, I can win when I roll a 2, and I can win when I roll a 1 with a little bit of luck juice. All right. So at long last, the remaining 2 or 3 days are over, and you have arrived at No Town.
Oh boy, let's get off this ship as fast as we can.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine getting off the ship, too.
Yeah. Is there anything preventing us? Can we just walk off?
Yeah, pretty much everyone's leaving except for the crew. I don't know if you want to talk to the crew or anything, or the captain before you leave.
No, we're gonna go tell the authorities.
And while you're leaving, there's a young Raltz that comes up to Iris, and
Oh, hi.
she says, "Hi, I absolutely loved your performances. I'm really happy that I won the ideal showcase raffle that the Nice Templar put out. But
I'm glad you got to watch?
I wanted to. I think that you could become more beautiful. I've kind of just. I've had this. I wanted to like turn into a necklace or something, but I think that you would be much more beautiful than a necklace. And she hands you an ice stone. I don't know if you want to touch it with gloves or something.
Oh, a nice stone. Thanks. She's probably going to, she's not quite ready to evolve yet, so she is probably going to, hold it without, evolving, however that works. And she says, "Thank you. I'll be sure to use this someday when I feel it ready to evolve."
Well,
The
I
next 8 days.
hope you think of your first fan when you evolve, or if you don't, you can always use it as a necklace. It'll complement you much better than me.
Alright, thank you so much. What's your name?
My name is Elena.
Alright, I'll be sure to remember you, Elena.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I already got your autograph, but I can't wait. I can't wait to show my everyone when I get home. My roommates will be so jealous.
Alright. Iris gives her a smile and wave as we disembark.
Yeah, so the Templar of Zekrom kind of pulled together their dudes and their guests, and they kind of go off into No Town, presumably to go visit a Zekrom temple.
All right, let's go tell on these troublemakers.
I don't have any
Let's
problem with that.
let's march into the city. Hello, my name is Hope, and we're in No Town.
What's he doing?
I'm marching off into the city. Looking for any authorities. An Officer Magnazone.
We have to follow him.
I'm like, are you just gonna look for like a police station or a guild, or what you looking for?
Either or. Any like sort of authority figures.
Yeah, you kind of you know like those police outposts that they had in like the 1700s. There's a few of those with some
Yeah.
Magnemite station.
Look there. I'm gonna like do a little jaunty run up to it.
All right, and you kind of hear the Magnemite hails you and is like, "Hello, welcome to our city. How may we help you?"
It's
today?
that ship over there, officer.
That is where you came from?
Yes. There's a dark secret lurking within its bowels.
Would you like to fill out a report?
Can I just tell you directly?
We need a witness report in order to prosecute any and all warranties.
Okay, I guess I could do that. I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me, Arceus.
We thank you for your willingness to speak the truth.
Mm-hmm. Not ideals. The truth.
He kinda
Why is it
sighs
so help
like
me,
he's-
Arceus? Aren't you, Reshiram?
Well, that works universally for everyone.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what do I do?
So he gives you like this sheet of paper that's kind of like the time and date. What did you see? What were they doing? All that
Okay.
stuff.
Name, hole, and I'm basically just gonna fill it out and basically retell what I saw, maybe in a hope-like manner. Like, I went down to the cargo of the ship where I witnessed the most trying thing I could imagine. There was a ne'er-do-well selling counterfeit products. I turned my head and looked away in disgust as I went to the captain and found out he was a ne'er-do-well as well, who was in on it, etc., etc. It's kind of that vein.
And is Newbie and Iris gonna fill things out too?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
you should corroborate. What's the? Yes, that word.
All right, Newbie's gonna fill his out, but it's a bit more matter of fact without all of the fluff.
I'm like, Iris wasn't there, so I guess that would be.
Yeah, Iris wasn't really there, didn't really see as much, and she also has other reasons for not filling it out.
Okay, we did our duty as law-abiding citizens.
We thank you for your assistance with the local law authority.
Yes. Okay, and then could you point us in the direction of glacier place?
Glacier place.
Yeah, it's like we heard about it. It's something on this this continent. It's like
Iris sighs and she says, "We want to know where the remains of where the Glacier Palace used to be is."
yeah, that.
The Glacier Palace is northward. I do not have an exact location, but you may also attend the Sweet Cold Festival to celebrate the fall of the bitter cold.
That sounds like kind of fun.
I don't think it sounds very fun.
Well, the fall of a cold is it sounds like something very Kiram like. So I'd celebrate something like that.
No, we should just head north and see if we can find it. We don't need to celebrate anything like that. We should just march.
Come on, Newbie, you want to go to the festival, right?
Honestly, I'm kind of indifferent.
That means yes in my book.
No, that means we should focus on getting to the... I mean, we can't get distracted. We need to go to the Tau plane as soon as possible so that you can prove Yellow Guy wrong about Reshiram. We don't have time for a festival.
You're not going to goad me into doing that. I see right through you.
Oh, so you don't want to prove Yellow Guy wrong?
Well, we could prove him wrong anytime. This festival comes once every... I look at the Magnemite like, twirling my hand around.
Year.
So you can go to it next year when we don't have to prove Yellow Guy wrong.
Why do we have to waste our time dealing with that guy? We could go tomorrow.
I mean, you're the one who wanted us to go on this in the first place.
Why don't we have a little fun while we're on the road? Boost our morale a little bit. Sure, there's there's maybe some you can maybe do your performing. I wonder if she notices I'm goading her now. Or the Newbie.
Probably.
Morale's plenty high enough as it is, so I say we skip that and just head straight to the remains of the Glacier Palace. Let's go! And Iris begins walking off.
But wait, my morale. Yeah, I was stuck on a ship with those ideal guys for 3 days. Was it 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a point, Iris. That I'm sure that's pretty stressful for him.
Yeah, and I imagine the best way to de-stress would be to prove
Go
that
to the
yellow
gold
guy wrong.
festival. No, the festival. What happens at this festival, sir? Said the Magnemite.
During the festival of the sweet cold, we celebrate the fall of the bitter cold with games and the occasional deep fried pastry.
Deep fried pastry.
I normally like sweets, but we can't get distracted. We have to focus.
Look, we're focusing on something that's unknown told us, which are we don't trust them. That yellow guy is telling us, which we don't trust him. Why don't we do something that's fun?
Well, let's head to the top lane. And he goes walking off again.
Newbie just kind of grabs one of her tails and he's like,
Come on, Iris. He really wants to do this.
Yes, he does.
Fine. We'll go.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
Iris, look how happy he is.
What did it start? What do we have to sign up to? What do we do? What can we do?
Simply go to the town square down the street, which is
Town
to
square down the
your
street.
left.
Got it. To the left. Let's go, guys.
Alright, but if we end up seeing any of those ideal guys, that's your fault.
Well, I just won't be paying attention to them because I'll be too busy festivaling. Festivals are the festivals. All right,
Festivals.
town square.
Have fun.
I certainly will.
All right, so I assume that you've just gone to the town square at this point.
mm-hmm.
So you see a bunch of different mini games showing up there. You have the one that's like climb this rope ladder that twists. You got the throw the ping pong ball into the cup, all that good stuff. Got a chugging contest, things of that nature. Who doesn't get the brain freeze and therefore is the most warm inside.
Oh boy, which one do we do first? I'm gonna spin around in a direction and like point my finger out, and where does it land? And I'm just gonna open my eyes.
I'm like, roll a d6.
Okay.
That's what I expected.
3. So I spin around and close my eyes, then I stop and open my eyes.
It's the ice cream contest. The chug until you get a brain freeze.
Let's go do the ice cream. I'm gonna run over to the ice cream.
Newbie looks at Kiona.
You'd probably be pretty good at this.
Okay, you're looking at Kiona all the way across.
Yeah, I was like, did you pull out your magazine and talk to it?
I'm tired.
Iris,
Yeah,
you look like you'd be good at that.
I mean, I might. Alright, I suppose since we're here, I can participate, I guess.
I'll try to.
So you're all gonna try the ice cream contest.
Oh, I'm already at the table.
Yeah, it's 10 gold per entry, and the winner gets 50.
I slam down 10.
I didn't know there was an entry cost. Whatever.
Norris hands in 10.
I'm like, yeah, this is. I think we all know how this is going to go.
Cold resistance, baby.
All right, so The Vanillux running the place kind of gives off the 3, 2, 1, and I want everyone to roll yourself an acrobatics check using your con.
Acrobatics.
Okay, acrobatics is in con. Interesting.
You gotta eat fast.
Okay, well, believe that's, yeah, okay.
Trying to
19.
figure out how this works. I think I'm doing this right.
It basically only matters if you have proficiency in acrobatics. Otherwise, it'll just be con.
Which Iris does.
Well, in that case, I should have had a +8.
Yeah.
I think.
All right, so that makes Newbie by far the fastest chugger of the three of you.
Do I get any bonus because I cold?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right, and so you guys are making it through, and this is when it starts to set in, and everyone make a con saving throw, and obviously Iris has advantage.
On saving throw. It's
Con.
so.
Do we
Wait.
get bonus stuff?
Oh, do you get the bonus despite we're allies but competing right now, right?
Oh my god.
Newbie's taking his divine blessings, or Hope's taking his blessings for himself.
Well, I guess technically it would activate because you are allies still.
Not in
Okay, so
this
that's a
context.
+5.
You're all enemies.
It'll be +5 if DM rules. You get it. 21.
$19.
18.
All right, so surprisingly, Iris is starting to slow down, probably because the minty taste is just overpowering her mouth, and she's like, "This doesn't taste good anymore." And Newbie and Hope are just going to town on the minty ice cream. And then you're getting to the bottom here, and so I want you guys to roll a strength saving throw so that way your hand it doesn't freeze too much and you drop the cup.
Oh god. Well, Iris,
18.
does Iris get advantage on this as
Oh my gosh.
I'd ask if Iris gets advantage on this
Yeah,
as
you
well,
do.
but it literally doesn't matter.
You do, but we'll see if Parshard likes you.
It's not gonna matter. I cannot beat Hopes.
Ouch.
Iris is just... I like to think that Iris is just kind of like, okay, I'm done.
I like sweet, but I don't like sweet this much.
I love sweets.
I'm like, now I have to take the grand total. So we had... Well, I know that Iris did not win with that last roll. So... In total... That's a lot of numbers for Hope. So Hope got 64 altogether. And then Newbie, how much did you get altogether? I think it was slightly less than that.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Yeah, he stayed pretty consistent. Newbie stayed pretty darn consistent, but I don't think he hit the high highs. Oh no.
Oh no, that's
He got a big giant number, you lose.
I'm pretty sure that's less. Just from
that's
the looks
60.
of it.
Yeah, that's
It's
55.
55. So Hope has just downed it, and his tail burns brightly as he just inhaled this whole thing without an issue.
Stand
And
up,
Newbie
I'm
finishes
the ice
second.
cream champ.
And you get your 50 gold for being the winner.
Oh, that's good because I only had 10 gold.
I'm like, you probably see like a freaking Zigzagoon or an Amoongus like on the ground, just kind of like, my head hurts so much. Why did I push my limits?
And Newbie just kind of taps Hope on the shoulder and he says,
Hey, can Iris and I have our 10 gold back?
Oh yeah, I was planning to do that anyway.
Oh, cool. Glad to
Yeah.
know we're on the same page.
Okay.
So
See,
you
that was fun.
net gain of 20 gold.
Yeah. How about you pick a game, Iris? I'm having a little bit of fun. I'll tell you what. We can each try a game, and then we could all go.
All right, fine. Let's do the shooting game.
Yeah, shoot a game.
All right. So you get up to like the ping pong shooting game, and the very truthful guy tells you that it's all about skill, and it has to bounce off the table at least once before landing in the cup.
Now, being a Templar of Reshiram, I should be very privy to deceit. And does this look like a very trustworthy carny?
I'm like, roll insight. Do you have the proficiency in that?
I certainly do.
Yeah, roll
Newbie does as
insight.
well.
Oh my gosh, what are you made of?
You see straight through. You see
Vegetables.
straight through this guy. He's a con artist.
Roll one
Actually,
more. Let's see if
You
get
see the
shiny.
staple in the back of one of the cups.
no.
Close.
All right. I'm going to. I'm gonna say over here, kind of like wiggling my finger over to the carny.
Sorry, I think I blanked out. You're gonna what now?
I'm gonna like usher him over by kind of wiggling my finger,
Oh, okay, yeah. He kind of just leans forward.
and I whisper, "I know what you're doing." And I'm gonna point to the rigged cups.
And he just kind of smiles and says, "All skill."
You're ripping off Pokemon.
No, it's all authentic. As you can read on the sign, you have a chance at success.
Well, what if I tell everyone what you are doing, and you don't get any customers, or you make it fair?
Well, everyone has a chance. And he kind of like points to like the one cup that doesn't have a staple in it. And he's like, one with an eye sharp as yours can easily hit the cup and get it. All skill.
Everyone, if you look at the cups, there are staples in them. Never mind, we shouldn't play this game.
Iris is going to. I'm pretty sure she will. Iris is gonna prove this guy and win this.
All right. So like the other one, it's 10 to pay, 50 to win.
Okay, she'll pay the 10. And with Hope's help, I assume she knows which cup is the non-staple one.
Yeah. So you know which
Okay.
one you're aiming for, so you've taken that part of the luck out of it. But I'm pretty sure you'll do this anyway. You're going to need to make a ranged attack roll with the ping pong ball.
Okay. All right. And this probably doesn't matter, but with sharpshooter, it will not get like any benefits from like half or 3/4 cover or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not covered in any way. It's just in a weird spot.
Yeah, figured. Okay, I'm gonna psionic dice that. 18, and I bet I'm gonna add 2 luck points to that too.
Okay. Yeah, so Iris just walks up and just and he's like,
Whoa.
"See, I told you, it's all skill, young friend.
Rolling my eyes.
Sharpen eyes, sharpen the wrist. Here's your 50, young lady. Nice shooting."
Thanks.
Hey, everyone, just aim for that cup.
roll persuasion.
Oh, you underestimate my persuasion.
Yeah, so everyone just kind of saw the that cup getting taken down so easily by Iris. They're like starting to line up, and this Mr. Mime is still smiling, but he might have some sweat on his brow now.
Have a nice day, sir.
And he's like, "You too."
Iris
Right.
walks back and she's like, well, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, maybe Noopy wants to do one of those games where you have the big mallet and you hit the bell. Is there any of those kinds of games? I don't know if he wants anything in particular.
Yeah,
Is there anything like that?
Yeah, there's one of the Smash the Mallet games. There's also games of dice rolling. There's also like fake fortune telling, where you basically just buy a fortune cookie and open it up.
I'll take the more violent one.
All right, so yeah, there's the mallet, and then there's the goal thingy. All you gotta do is hit it.
All right. Athletics, I take it.
Yeah, it'll be athletics to smack
Hey,
it as
Hope,
hard
would
as
you
you
mind
can.
coming?
Oh wait, it's only for saving throws. Never mind.
Yeah.
Stand 10 feet within me.
Yeah. Good luck with this. I'm
Hang on, it slipped. Let me try again.
I'm like,
There you go.
yeah, it goes ding, and you kind of get like a round of applause. Maybe actually, yeah. There's a Lucario from the crowd, and he walks up and he's like, it looks like he has the attitude of, well, if it's that easy, I'll do it too.
Newbie gives him the mallet.
It doesn't
No.
even get halfway up. He's like, all right, you had 2 shots, I get 2 shots, and he gets it exactly halfway up. And he's like, he's kind of tilted. And he's like,
Game's rigged.
this game is rigged. I'm gonna do it a 3rd time. Oh shoot, he actually made it. He goes, you probably used some of the aura and went bing, and then went back, and then goes back down. He like just barely made it, I might add. He's like, see, it's easy.
You took 3 attempts to do it, though.
Well, he can't get it in a third. He can't get a 3rd one in.
Oh, I can try.
How much does it cost?
I'm like, with this one, it's just you have to hit it and you get $20. Yeah, no. Newbie got the same, like, slightly over halfway as before. He's like, see?
It's fine. I already hit it once. I'm happy with that.
And, he's like, there's some, like, quick maths going on in Lucario's brain here. He hits it again. He's like, it goes, like, halfway again. He's just like, it's rigged.
Does that mean I get to hit it again?
No.
Please?
Like, this is another competitor. He can't stop you.
I want to do it again. I just like hitting things.
It doesn't even get a quarter of the way up.
It slips out of your grip. It's like just gets.
Maybe he lands on your foot,
newbie.
hit your foot.
Yeah?
I'd quit while you're behind.
Nah, I want to do it again. I just like doing it.
You don't quite make it all the way up to the top.
See, it's just fun.
And the Lucario's like, see, no one can do this. See, he hits it and he has the same effect, although it's slightly less high. Maybe he's not putting as much into it. He's like,
I'm gonna try. Plus
I'm like,
negative
you
one.
only get the $20 once.
I literally can't make it go 20.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes like a quarter of the way for Hope.
I don't think I was made for it.
That's okay, you tried.
I could bless myself and maybe get it.
Yes. The power of Reshiram's True allows you to cheat at games.
I mean, it's his true strength.
Yeah, it's a true strength, like final form. All right, have you proved your superiority over the Lucario, man?
Oh, I don't need to prove
We're
my
not.
superiority.
He's not superior. We both hit it once.
This isn't about proving who's superior.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, why do you keep doing it?
I already told you because I like hitting things.
No, I mean him.
Oh.
I like hitting things. Obviously.
Well, you're comparing it to his all the time.
No, you're just thinking too hard into it.
Maybe.
I mean, listen, the game is clearly
But
rigged
okay,
anyway.
we got some R&R. I think it's. Then how'd you win? With brute strength, when that's all it requires.
Well, there's a bit of luck to it too. You got to make sure you hit the right angle. Got to make sure that the wind's in the right conditions, blowing at your back and not your face. You know.
Well, that's not rigged. That's just.
I don't think the wind would matter in this instance.
I mean, it does a little bit. Anyway, we've got somewhere to be.
Yeah. Me too.
Bye.
He kind of just leaves the area. Although he's definitely going to take peeks over his shoulder to see if you're going back to it.
I think he was the Bell champion, and you kind of stole his thunder.
Oops.
Because he's
Anyway.
yeah, after the phallus of icicles or whatever.
Glacier Palace.
Yeah, that place.
So you know that there is also a Reshiram temple in No Town.
Oh, why did I just spontaneously think about that when I got here?
I'm like, I forgot.
The festival distracted me. Just one more thing before we go. There's a temple I could perhaps ask for some guidance at, and
Okay, sure.
Hmm.
At least it's not the festival this time.
oh, okay. You didn't have fun?
I mean, I had a little. I just don't like the idea behind the festival.
I don't even know what a bitter cold is, so
I don't know details too much myself, but while they're busy celebrating all the it being gone, there's nothing about the people who lost so much because of it.
oh, I didn't know. But it's celebrating the fact it's gone, so maybe that's a good way to get your spirits up. I mean, we should remember, what we lost from tragedies, but it's good to, look forward so we can move forward.
Maybe, yeah. Anyways, let's head to your temple place.
All right. Is there kind of like maybe a landmark where I can find it easily? Is there a sign that says Reshiram Temple this way?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much both of the Reshiram and Zekrom temples are on opposite sides of the city. One's obviously pearly white, and one is like ebony black.
Yeah, pearly whites.
So you have a pretty good idea where it is. You know, you can probably feel some Reshiram juice.
Yeah, or maybe traditionally, like Reshiram stands on the left and Sekrom's on the right, and I see the black kind of thing sticking out like a sore thumb. So yeah, over to the left, or wherever it is.
Yeah, I mean, most of the. It also probably looks a lot more elegant than the freaking like boxes that the entire city is made of. Yes, we're making that canon. If you go here in the game, all of the little houses are made out of boxes of metal.
Don't underestimate the significance of a cardboard box or whatever the frick that quote is.
Made out of Duplo boxes.
All right, so you're kind of in front of the Reshiram temple now. There might be a statue of Reshiram in the courtyard or something, and then there might be a plaque that says the Dawn Wings.
Yeah, I like do a little gesture of a prayer in front of it, closing my eyes, and I enter the temple not knowing really what to expect, but
Make a wisdom saving throw.
a wisdom saving throw.
Well, you could expect a wisdom saving throw, I suppose.
Okay, well, let me just calculate it with my busted things. Oh my god! Oh my god! That's actually a good thing. Yeah. Oh.
Is everyone behind you, or are they staying outside?
I assumed Newbie and Iris were going to be staying outside while Hope did his thing inside.
I'm gonna juice it up to a 15 with my 2 remaining luck points.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
You have succumbed to a zone of truth.
Oh. No!
You know, the funny thing is, I knew that. I had a feeling that was what it was happening.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep walking in, I guess. You'll feel a little funny when you walk in. It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we were just gonna stay out here.
Oh, okay. Do as you please. Oh,
Okay.
I should be right back. I won't take too long.
All right.
All right. I guess what I plan to do here is just kind of, if there's some like altar to pray on for a little while and maybe seek guidance of some sort.
Yeah. So when you come in, you kind of see the markings of like the lead scholar. He's like near the front. He's like near the front desk because he's a weird deer.
Oh wow, they have all the variety has kept up with us. We got the expansion pack.
Got the expansion pack, guys.
Oi there. Hello, follower.
Welcome to the No Temple.
Yes. I do my little hand prayer thing again. And I say, I wish to pray and seek guidance from our benefactor. I learned that word.
You, of course, any of you may pray to Rasharam in our sacred temple. Only the truth may reside here.
I give like a sigh of relief, like I'm in heaven. Or the Tau flame, the truth side. Yes, the truth. And wherever he's kind of ushered me, I will go.
There isn't really like one particular place. Like, if you
Oh,
remember, like the little church place that you went to in the Tau Plain itself, there's like one of those set up here where you can leave offerings. There's like an altar you can pray at. There's just pads where you can pray at. Sometimes you can leave things. It's very much your own truth,
yeah.
your own true way to give offerings to Resharam have been
Well,
accommodated for.
I'll start by giving him 10 gold because I feel like he had a part in helping me win that contest. So I'll give him 10, just like my friends.
To Resharam.
Yeah, there's like a little bowl to maybe put it or something.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll plop down and pray somewhere and say, this is completely unrehearsed, so I didn't know this would happen.
Do you need some time to think of something?
Yeah, perhaps, if I'm not just doing it off the top of my head.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Iris and Newbie are staying away from the zone of truth.
Yep. I think, Quill, you're muted.
We can give you a little bit of time, Crow.
Yeah.
Okay, so while Iris and Newbie are sitting out there, Newbie's just kind of twiddling his lack of thumbs, and he says,
You didn't seem very interested in that festival, Iris. Normally you're pretty excited about that sort of thing.
Just, it's fine. It's all good and stuff. It just hits a little too close to home.
In what way?
Just, it. Have you ever had a moment where like everyone's all happy and cheering and stuff, but you're not, and you just feel all left out and stuff like that?
Newbie thinks about it for a bit, and he says,
No, I can't think of a time like that.
Yeah. Like I haven't seen this exact festival before, but I've seen all the cheering and the partying and stuff like that when that whatever that thing was that was causing the Glacier Palace to do its thing happened, when Kiram was being all evil and stuff, and while they were all cheering, while they were all happy, celebrating, my family was homeless and we had nothing.
Oh. Well, yeah, that would explain why you wouldn't really like a festival like this then.
Yeah, we're fine now, but we were living close to the Glacier Palace, our old home was, and when it started floating and started freezing up the land, our house was basically destroyed. We had to move away. We didn't really have anything, and things were rough until I went to the carnival and started being able to send money home.
I see.
Newbie, why do Pokemon like to exploit performers?
he just kind of looks at her.
Could you be a little more specific?
Well, you know, that old troop I was with, they were they were doing it as a front to steal from Pokemon, and then we went onto that boat, and I mean, most of the Pokemon there were just happy to see me perform, and it was really fun, but then there was that guy who was going to use my signature and just sell it, and just sell counterfeits and stuff like that, and it's like, it's not why I want to be performing. I don't want to perform so that others can just steal and lie through me. I want to perform to make others feel better.
Well, there's just always gonna be Pokemon like that. You know, just trying to make quick money off of other people's hard work.
I guess. I wish they wouldn't.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Other than, turn them into the police when the opportunity presents itself.
I guess, I still haven't. I mean, I'm sure the police might probably already know about the theater troupe, but I couldn't really turn them in.
They probably were kind of like a family to you for a little while, huh?
Yeah, they were like a family to me, and the money I made from that helped my parents get off the ground. Like, I don't even want to know what my parents or my little brother or what state of living they'd be in if it weren't for the stolen money they gave me.
Kind of a conflict of interest there, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know, it's really hard sometimes.
I can imagine so.
Maybe someday I'll find some place to perform or use whatever skills I have to do some good and help Pokemon.
Oh, you definitely will.
That's what I really want to do, like seeing their happy faces, and especially that Routes girl, Lane, the fact that she was so happy to see my performance, really loved it. That's what I want to perform for.
And that's how I know that you will be able to do that one day. I mean, you're what, 16? Just
Yeah.
imagine once you're my age, how much better you're gonna be.
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, thanks, newbie.
Mm-hmm.
So rewinding, I clasp my hands and I pray. I say, I'm lost. The truth is sending me in several directions. Oh, I'm getting echo.
Oh, that's probably me. Let me try and fix that.
All right.
It's
The truth
immersive.
is the truth is sending me in several different directions, like I'm being violently tugged by several different ropes. I've allowed these doubts to cast doubt on you, and in turn, making me doubt myself and my actions. So please help me and guide myself and my friends in the right direction to find the truth we seek. Give me meaning and give me meaning for being your loyal servant. And I sit there for a good minute or two. And does anything really come to me?
The weird ear.
Weird here.
Mm-hmm. He says, I couldn't help but feel that something isn't quite as it seems here.
Well, yes, it's true.
Is there any way that I might be able to assist?
Well, you see, my friends and I are doing this thing for let's just say not the most trustworthy of sources, and I just don't really know what to do. It seems like I'm I'm going to Reshiram just for my own pride.
I don't. You mean spiritually approaching Reshiram?
No, I mean literally.
How so? We already had our yearly session where we invited all the head scholars and
Well,
invitees.
well, it has to do with those not so trustworthy sources you may have heard in my prayer and that I just told you about.
If they are not trustworthy, why would you give them concern?
Because at the same time, I feel like we have to follow them to figure out if something bigger is going on. And we might be the only ones who know about it. I know it sounds crazy, by the way, but that tingling sensation, and the words that come out of my mouth, and I know, perception is reality, and you might think I'm just crazy and believe crazy things, and that's how it's getting through the zone. But I assure you, scholar, I'm telling the truth.
He says, "Come speak with me in in my office."
I kind of look around and it's like, yeah, I will. My friends are kind of waiting outside, and I said I'd be right back. Do you have any idea how long this will take?
I do not know how long this may take. Depends on how much we have to discuss.
Um, could you maybe send someone out and tell them what's going on?
Sure. And
Thank you.
he just walks out of the building himself.
Oh, okay.
So you see the door open, and you see this weird ear walking outside. You might see Hope inside of the building still,
And I kind of wave to them.
and he just
Oh,
Newbie
hi,
waves
Hope.
back.
Hi.
kind of just comes up and says, "I am going to speak with your friend in my office. You may join us if you wish. He wanted me to inform you that it might take longer than he was expecting."
Oh, okay.
All right. Do you think we should go with Newbie, or do you think we should just stay out here?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
All right. Make both of you make a wisdom saving throw.
Newbie's not even gonna try. He's just gonna
You
let it happen.
just boom.
I'll have Iris try, but technically there's a +2 to that, but
Iris and,
yep, that ain't happening.
Iris and Hope just completely just. All right, so you're all in your zone of truth.
Are they allowed to join? They're kind of assisting me on this endeavor. Are they allowed to come in to your office with me?
I mean, he invited us, so I'd assume so.
Yes, they are welcome to come. If the truth needs to be revealed, it needs to be revealed.
Yeah, the truth needs to be revealed.
All right, let's go.
All right, so he takes you to like his little office. There's like enough room for like maybe 5 or 6 people on the other side of his desk, and he's got a few books open here or there, maybe some paper on the table. It's mostly tidy, but not completely tidy, because he does. It looks like he uses this space, obviously, and he sits down and he says, and he introduces himself formally. He's like, "So my name is Pontius, and I'm the lead scholar of this temple, as you might have already guessed. So, what are your names and how may I help you?"
Well, I'm Hope, and
I'm Newbie.
I'm Iris.
May the light of Reshiram continue to bless you with truth. So I was informed by Hope that you need to travel to the Tau plane.
Yep.
That's our current objective anyway.
However, our yearly session in the Tau plane has come and gone.
Oh. Well, would you be willing to tell us how to get there on our own?
Both the Templar of Reshiram and Zekrom protect that entrance. Obviously, when the sessions are not happening, we share the space, just as Zekrom and Reshiram do, and we keep it that way. It was very difficult to protect it during the bitter cold.
I can imagine, considering all the stuff that happened around that time.
Fortunately, it did not appear as if Kurum had any reason to go through there, and neither did any of our Templar able to visit that year either. However, yes, it is close to the glacier plain. Or palace, where it used to be.
I wonder if we...
It's just within the mountain that it used to reside on.
well, we were in there a few days ago, actually, and how we got in there was through our shady-looking Pokemon we kind of trusted for a little bit.
They were a couple of unknown.
Yeah,
Four
them.
of them.
Are these unknown the shady person you were talking about, who you didn't know if they were telling the truth or not?
Yeah, one of them.
Pretty sure, yeah.
One of them. There are more.
Oh, there's
yeah,
a lot of them.
there's this yellow guy who... Hope doesn't like him because he insulted Reshiram or something like that.
It's more than that, just that.
So you wish to go to the Tau Plane and discover what?
Well,
Yes.
Basically, we've got two things we want to do there. We've got to figure out, because the unknown said something bad's happening in that plane, so we got to figure out if they're telling the truth or not, or if someone's messing around with the planes that the legendary Pokemon are, and Hope wants to prove the yellow guy wrong.
Well, a personal quandary is no reason to travel. However, you say that the plane itself is in trouble.
Potentially.
How would Reshiram itself not know?
We don't know.
Yeah, a lot of the I guess creatures we've encountered are kind of vagueville.
Basically, we're not sure if they're even telling us the truth that it's in danger or not, but we need to check just to be sure, because, I mean, obviously if it's in danger, then we don't want to just leave it, but we're also not sure whether it's in danger or how bad it really is.
You have a curious situation.
Yeah, we're kind of sort of been in the dark a lot. We're not really sure what we need to do, only that we can't really just let it go by and do nothing.
would you consider this an emergency?
I don't know. Like Iris said, we're just kind of going off just vague clues and
I mean,
doubtful sources.
if it is something really bad, then I think, yeah, it'd be emergency, though we're not entirely certain if it is really an emergency or not.
The way these sources make it sound, it is, but at the same time, it's hard to explain.
Well, we are lucky that Reshiram deems us worthy to bless at all. But you must also understand, if I grant your request and give you passage to the Tau plane, it must be an emergency. Not only that, but if these are not true, you will risk your position as a member of the Dusk Wings, or not Dusk Wings, the Dawn Wings. And I will as well. We will both lose the blessings of Reshiram as we are excommunicated from the Templar.
That the only risk?
That is the predominant risk we would run.
Well, I feel it's my duty to go see. And I'm willing to risk my position to do that. I don't know about you, but that is how I feel.
Your conviction is quite admirable, and leads me to believe that you do consider this to be a worthy risk, that it is an emergency.
Yes. So, what do I have to do?
I think the question is more, how do you plan on doing it? I am prepared to be withdrawn to search for the truth as well. Not many are. However, should you get there and find out that the Tau plane is in fact in danger, what will you do? You only have one way in and one way out. And if Reshiram herself cannot sense such changes to the environment, it is entirely possible that you would have to face them alone.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
Well, I was going to say, if it's up to these two, I would seek to free the plane from such troubles. Look, I know Reshiram might not be your ice cream, but you don't have to follow me there if you don't want to.
It does not matter whether or not I follow you. The
I
invitation
mean,
alone
these
puts me
two.
at risk. Oh, then.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like I said, I can't exactly just ignore what may or may not be happening.
But
So,
you heard him, right? There's only one way in and one way out. I don't think our other friend even knows we're going there.
we'll find a way.
What about you, newbie?
Well, it's kind of like Iris said. If if everything's really in danger, I mean, can't just sit there and do nothing.
Okay.
Very well. I will start to make preparations, however, it will take time for the message to get there. You probably might just want to stay here for a day so the message gets there before you do.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Now,
In the temple or like in the town?
in the town, we
Okay.
don't live in the temple.
Yeah. Okay.
We only worship here.
All right. Thank you, brother. I know what you're sacrificing in order to grant us passage there.
I also want to give you a warning that you cannot let your emotions cloud how you see the truth. If you need to see the truth, see it.
Well, I always confront the truth.
He kind of gives you like a knowing stare. Like he knows that you've been struggling with it regardless, but he also knows you might not want to admit that in front of your friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know
Yeah.
the truth. I mean, if he's lying, then
Yeah.
Well, he
I guess
always follows the truth. It's just that it's just that he's just not completely sure of himself, but he wants to follow the truth. Zone of
Yeah.
truth, Juju, you know.
I'll do my best to heed those words, though.
Part of me wishes that we'll be excommunicated, because if we are, there's no problem. But I fear that's not the scenario.
That's the feeling well, part of the feeling I get. Part of me thinks it's nothing, but another part of me thinks something's terribly wrong.
I just
Now,
don't. I just don't want to leave the place alone if there is something possibly bad that might happen.
I'm not entirely sure how to get both of you passageway.
Ask
We
super duper nicely.
only the Templar are allowed to pass of either Zekrom or Reshiram. So getting
Ask super duper nicely.
I mean, uh, if I need assistance, they could come, right?
not necessarily, because both Templar guard the portal. They are both within their rights to stop unwanted visitors. It is their duty.
But Iris and I have already been there before.
You've been there before, but how did you get there?
Well, what happened was the unknown wanted us to go into the various planes and make sure there was nothing wrong with them. So, each of us has this little trinket, and he takes out his little hairpin that he was going to give to Kiona. And he says, like, this one takes us to a different one plane, and then Iris has a bangle that takes us to another, and then
I mean, Iris is wearing her bangle.
I pull out my crown. I think this is what actually took us to.
yeah, that's the one that actually took us there, and that's how we got there.
Yes, but I don't think that you have the unknown working with you now, or you would not be seeking my assistance to go through
Right.
the anchor point.
Right, but we have been there before, so you can let us in, right?
And he's kind of giving him this smile, like he knows that he's gonna say no, but he's smiling anyway.
Would I were that the case? It is possible. It would be much easier if you joined as some form of scholar.
Well, I mean, I'm not really, into that sort of thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do kind of lead towards truth more than ideals, but I'm not really sure I dedicate my life to it.
You won't necessarily have to dedicate your life to it, but you would have to be associated in order for the Templar to let you pass. This is the best solution I can think of.
And look on the bright side, you might be excommunicated anyway.
I'm bad at all scholarly stuff and stuff like that, so I'll probably just sneak past while those two distract the guards.
So that's when the room goes silent.
I was
Yeah.
fully expecting that.
Well,
I suppose you will have time to think about it if I send the letter as soon as I can. But be warned, I won't be able to change the letter.
What sort of affiliation are you asking of us?
Essentially enough that you know the basic beliefs and symbols of our religion.
Well, that sounds like it's a bit easier.
You will be associated. You will essentially be listed as learning members, so to speak. So you won't have to commit your life to it and become a Templar such as Hope and I, but you would be a investigator, so to speak.
Can't we just be called interested parties?
I mean, is that not what an investigator is?
I guess.
Yeah, I'm
There's,
sure it'll
there's no
be.
real commitment, though, right?
There is some commitment, but nothing to the degree that Hope or I have reached or have to lose.
sign on as apprentices, sir.
If it's what we need to do to go there, then that's what we need to do to go there.
Yeah, I guess.
I will write the letter, and I will also inform the staff of the temple that you may start basic training whenever you wish. I do not wish to force the truth upon you.
Yes, never force the truth on someone.
Hopefully it'll be just real quick, easy, snap, and then we're done.
I hope so as well. Now, let me make the arrangements. You may leave my office when you feel ready to. And he leaves to start talking to staff and so forth.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to an inn. and I'll just kind of walk out.
And Newbie will follow him.
Yeah.
You just kind of take the walk out in silence.
Mm-hmm. Newbie ain't too sure about this.
Don't worry, it's not like a cult, guys. It's
Well, yeah, I don't expect it to be, but still.
I mean, you've left the zone of truth now, so lie all you want, newbie.
I don't like lying.
I mean, you said like if there was another way in, I'd totally go for it. But
I
this is our
know.
only way in.
I still like my sneak in idea.
Yeah, but they might not like that. When you get back, they might throw you in the clink.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, then I'd have to sneak out after I sneak in. That's not going to really work out either, is it?
Probably not. These are like trained royal guard guys. So I haven't been able to even get up to that level yet.
Okay.
Or they can
So
like find like a grain of salt in a bunch of flour.
that's impressive.
Or a needle in a stack of needles.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
Yeah. I've heard it
But-
happens on dangerous Saturday nights.
Dangerous Saturday nights.
What sort of Saturday nights would you do that would require needles, fighting needles and needles?
The dangerous kind. I don't know, ask a Totodile sometime.
Well, perhaps we should just get some rest and see what our friend Pondius, I think his name was, as I wrote down.
Yep.
We'll see what he does.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. We just have to learn a couple of things and then we'll be good.
Yeah, I can maybe just educate you during our in stay of a few prayers, and you'll ace it.
Hmm.
So, just like before, the hotel will be 2 gold per person per day. There's also
Alright,
the
well-
Teleport post office, library / bookstore, etc. Whatever city things that you might want to do. I don't know if you want to check out how to pray books about Reshiram.
I just maybe give them some knowledge about it. Because I gotta know, I'm like a former priest.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Roll persuasion.
Oh, persuasion, huh?
And get
Oh.
a nat 1.
Well, that'd still be 10. I don't think 10 would be good enough.
And use your intelligence.
Oh, what did I tell?
I should have rolled before the DM said that.
Okay, so I still get my proficiency added to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so -1 plus 4, so plus 3. All right.
That's still fairly decent. Maybe.
14?
He does a alright job, you know.
Hmm.
Some of the things sound a little muddled, but you got the basic concept out to them.
Okay.
And then Newbie and Iris make an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
Nine.
This is one of those things I could do nothing about.
So, newbie, you're kind of getting the idea of it. You might have some assistance from maybe cutting a Templar's hair once or something like that. Iris, you're
Or
not
punching
getting
one
this.
in the eye.
You're just... Well, he wasn't part of the Templar. He was just a brother. And Iris, you're really struggling to kind of get the idea down of just sitting there still, not thinking about anything but your thoughts to Reshiram or something.
I'm not very good at not thinking about things.
You'll get it. It's just you got to throw you in the right environment, and the truth will guide you.
Okay. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, we should probably shop because it's the last time we'll ever shop for a while. And after giving money back to you and giving money to Reshiram, I only have 8 more gold than I did last time, so I'm probably not buying much.
Maybe you should try your hand at, well, you probably can't even afford to join one of the games now. You could just
And-
keep smacking the bell with the hammer until you get some money.
I literally can't win it unless I bless myself.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You should probably lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like lifting.
Well, maybe you could try one of the. No, you'd still have to pay to get it.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
just
could buy
shrugs.
Iris a TM as well. Or another TM that isn't string shot. Well, there. Once again, I'd only roll up like 2 of them for you to pick up.
Yeah, might as well see what they have. I mean, Iris has a decent amount of cash on her, so...
All right. Let's see. So we're gonna do D18 and D9, and now I have to go over to the supplement and see what that means. It's not on this one. The horror. Always have the supplement. No, don't reload the page.
Oops.
All right. So the first one is missed. And there it is in chat. If you want to read what it does, you might have to pause because I'm about to roll again. So there's missed. And then here's the next one. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I should really label these. Well, it's
Probably.
pursuit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
you guys got
Some-
pursuit last time.
No, it was
Yeah.
sucker punch.
Oh no, newbie. Well, good thing newbie can't have both.
Yeah, none of them seem too interesting. So I'll pass.
Yeah, pass.
Well, I can't even afford it, bro. So
Yeah. So no TMs.
no.
As great as pursuit is, apparently I can't have it.
I mean, if you wanted to spend 100 gold,
Oh, I don't have that much.
you could get yourself a master TM.
The what?
So the Master TM, you get to choose the move that it is, and you also increase your maximum PP by 3. But this one, when you attune to it, obviously is doubled as a magic item, not just a TM.
Okay. Well, I don't have enough for it anyway, so oh well.
And we could maybe sell some stuff to get it.
How much do bananas go for?
These are.
They're going to go.
I'll try to be his hype man and say these are actually spatial bananas from this weird meteoroid place. And we got them by fighting these great beasts and ripping them off their chins.
Are you just like doing this in the middle of the street?
I thought we were at a store.
You're gonna do this at a store?
Well, tried to haggle with the store clerk.
He's just like, I don't care where those bananas came from. Bananas are not an acceptable trade for this level of TM.
They contain potassium.
All bananas contain potassium, whether it came from space or not.
Oh, this is space potassium.
So Iris, behind you, you see that there's a Magnemite and Leo. And then Leo is surrounded by 2 Magnemites. He's probably going to jail.
Hey, which one was Leo again?
That's the guy who's ripping off people in the ship hall that I told you.
He was the Scyther that was gonna sell your autograph.
Oh. Huh. Hey, guess he is getting taken away.
A Baltoy also comes in and he kind of says, I can't believe someone would do that.
Yeah, I know. Sell counterfeits.
No, I can't believe someone would turn us in. I've been laid off. I don't have a job.
I'm sure you could find another one.
I mean, I don't know what else I could go for. I don't think I could support my family off of another sailing job. That one paid really well.
Yeah, but it
Only
was.
you were saving.
I have saved up a little, but it's not gonna last very long.
But it was dishonest work.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that. I told everything. I try to treat everyone. I mean, you did like the advice I gave, didn't you? I worked hard.
Yeah, but he was trying to take my friend's autograph and copy it, sell it.
But he also gave me a job. Wait, are we talking about Leo or the captain?
Oh, Leo.
Well, he kind of gave us a job, I suppose.
And I know what you're trying to do here, but that is not the way you should do things.
Well, I'm also stuck on a completely different continent now. Because the allegations are going to take a while with the captain, and then he'll take me back home for free, but after that I'm on my own. So I was thinking maybe it'd be better to try to look for places here while I can.
Hey, shopkeep, do you need a hand in your store?
You get the feeling that's why the ball toy came in here.
Oh. Well, I'll put in a really good word for this guy. He gave us really good advice for a ship full of criminals.
Hope. I don't think that's going to really help his resume.
The shopkeeper locks the glass door with the TMs underneath it.
Oh, but he's not a criminal. I mean, that guy getting arrested over there is a criminal. He's not. This guy's the best advice giving Pokemon you ever did see.
Yeah, see what's going on? That guy over there, he was forging copies of Team Charm autograph and was selling them. But this guy was just doing his job on the ship.
Listen, I don't know what kind of a street performance this is, but I'm only interested in whether or not you'll buy my merchandise right now, okay?
Okay, bye.
You just leave the store.
Well, see ya.
Yeah.
Please, well.
Newbie's gonna give the ball toy 5 gold.
He's like, well, thank you. That'll at least get me a night's in and maybe some bananas.
Here, have a banana.
Oh,
And Newbie will give him a banana.
well, thanks. Now I have to wonder if I should eat it or sell it.
Oh, you won't have any luck doing that. Selling it, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't care about potassium around
He starts
here very
peeling
much.
the banana and he starts to eat it, and he's like, well, at least I have some really good customers that, well, I don't know if we call you a customer. What do you call people that you sail around? Passengers. We have really good
Yeah.
passengers. So I hope that maybe I'll find some other passengers who might want to hire me from past travels.
Yeah, just make sure you don't wind up in league with a bunch of forgers and criminals.
Well, that makes it really hard because they pay really well.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be tempted by that, okay? Because you're risking so much by doing that.
But I'm risking a lot by not getting a lot of money.
Yeah, but Pokérome wasn't built in a day.
What's Pokemon?
I've
I don't
heard
know.
of Pokérome before. It's like a virus, and it makes you like really smart for some reason.
Yeah.
And it spreads
Wow.
like the plague. Like,
Sounds interesting.
honestly, I don't know how that analogy works because it definitely could be built. Well, I guess, okay, 2 days. 2 days. But not one.
Alright,
Yeah.
Pokemon is built in 2 days then.
Exactly. That's maybe a bit of hyperbole there. What it means, though, is you shouldn't expect money to just fall in your lap in just a short amount of time. You got to work for it.
Yeah, and if you try
worked
to do
hard.
otherwise, you end up like him. And he points to Leo.
Leo's already gone.
Oh, that guy that was there that was getting arrested. You don't want to be him.
Maybe you
all
can.
I need is enough money to supply my family.
Maybe you can join a guild or something like that. Might be a little high risk, but the reward might be worth it.
Do guilds really need people that give out sea advice? Or boat?
Maybe you could get a job with a Lapras liner.
Yeah, maybe you could set up maybe you could do like an offshoot of it where it's like a tour around the ocean.
Yeah, that could be good. And the Lapras liner is might pay a decent amount.
And they're as honest as you could get.
Well, I don't know how I could compete with the Lapras, but
No, don't compete with them. Join them and just do this kind of separate little business. Instead of going from point A to point B, maybe you just travel around the ocean and look at sites, and you could be a guide and say, "There's the so and so island. It's known for so and so."
But how could I join the Lapras liner if I'm not a Lapras?
No,
You can ask them.
yeah, you just stand on the Lapras and do your thing.
Polish their shells or something.
Yeah, just pitch the
Oh.
idea.
Wait, if I polish their shell too much, the customers will slip off.
I think you're missing the point. The point is you should go to the Lapras, say you used to work on a ship, but you don't anymore, and see if they've got any sort of work or job for you.
Well, I have a little bit of time to look around, but you're right, maybe following the shady guy and looking at the shops that I pass by is not the best of ideas.
Yeah, stay away from shady people. And here's a little extra for me. Here's 8 gold. So I'm literally at the same gold I started at. I started this day.
Well, I don't know what to say. This really improves my odds at least staying here and seeing if I could get a job.
Yeah. Besides, where I'm going, I don't need any gold. Literally.
Wow. I can't. I mean, how much money do you make?
Oh, like next to nothing.
I'm like, that's not true. You're the entourage of Iris.
Oh, well, I haven't been paid for that.
Yeah, she hasn't done any performances lately other than the ones on the ship.
Yeah, we can maybe think of if we come back, we can maybe try and do some stuff like that.
Well, I would, for one, be most pleased to join whatever business you set up, but I'll hopefully find something that provides enough for my family in the meantime.
Yeah, just keep trying. Keep your head held high, or as high as you can hold it, and things will work out.
Yeah, you're right. I have to maintain hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think the ideal guys would?
No, you should go to the temple over the white one and get guidance from there.
What if I do both?
Both is
Oh,
good.
well, that's
Does that make it truly ideal?
well, that's middle of the road, if anything. But yeah,
Well, you left me with many options. I should
Huh.
write them all down and start my investigation. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of finishes the banana. And he throws it away. He's like, "Don't put the banana peel on the ground." He's kind of like eating while he does this. You put the banana peel on the ground, people who don't float will slip on it.
That's a good idea.
And Newbie's gonna take the banana peel.
Newbie, that's garbage.
No, it's a tactical weapon.
well, I tried doing that against that thing that ate me, and it didn't work.
It's worth another shot.
Yeah, good point.
You never know when weird things are gonna save your life.
He's just kind of thinking about that one.
Anyway, we bid you adieu.
And kind of he waves you all goodbye.
Well, having to possibly give up my meaning of life and being guilt tripped, and yeah, it's been a wonderful day today.
You have an interesting idea of a wonderful day, Hope.
Yeah. Head held high.
Oh yeah, also give y'all everyone get yourself like 2 luck points for all of those role-playing bits.
Okay, yay! Those 2 I wasted.
2 you wasted returned. Meanwhile, Iris is making a bank out of it.
Yeah. Are you wondering why I turned it into a one-time inspiration now?
Iris doesn't have a lot of luck points, honestly. I mean, she has a few, but she doesn't have a lot. The only thing is Iris basically almost doesn't need her luck points. She's almost more than likely going to succeed at whatever the heck she wants to do, so long as it's something she has proficiency in.
Anyway, let's go back to the inn if we're not gonna buy anything or nobody wants our bananas. I don't know if we could sell these wing wares, but we might need them, so I guess we should keep them.
Yeah, I want to keep them just in case we need them. Besides, I could use them for some neat performance tricks.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let's sleep tonight, and then tomorrow we'll try and do the learn how to be not Templar assistant people.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm sure you'll pass with flying colors.
All right, I mean, if that's everything, I think that's a good place to end the session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone, and next time we'll see how everyone does with trying to believe in the truth of Reshiram, or maybe someone will go AWOL and just start working with the ideal with Zekroms. Anyway, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.